Delighted to welcome back on the show. Big fight coming up in just over 10 days against Mr. Paul Felder in the SSE Hydro Glasgow. A few days back on the show, Mr. Stevie Ray. Stevie.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, yeah, can't complain. Up nice and early for a change. Normally my interviews are at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., so it's good to have someone on the right side of the pond for a change. But obviously a lot of excitement, man. 10 days out, fighting in Glasgow, back in Glasgow. How are you feeling? How's the excitement? Building up nicely, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's good. Training's going well, my weight's well, everything's on point. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, walking out, doing it all over again, UFC Glasgow.
What's the feeling like when you're at home, Stevie? Fighting in front of the home crowd. Is there extra expectations of and pressure?
The last time I remember there being a bit more nerves. It was in your hometown, so I was a little bit more nervous, but those nerves and stuff still got me the 50 G's. So it's how you deal with the nerves that matters.
That's it. I think a lot of people are expecting a bonus in this fight as well. It's a lot of it's a fight a lot of people are calling for, obviously, when the card was announced. I heard some people mention, I read an article yesterday that maybe expecting a bigger opponent, a bigger name than Paul Felder. But, people around the MMA community know what Paul's like. He's a very good striker, good Muay Thai guy. Just your thoughts and feelings on that.
Well, I think the hardcore kind of fans know who Felder is, and know he's a tough opponent and he's right up there. So whereas the maybe not so hardcore fans, or maybe know Lauzon, they know Pearson, but maybe not heard the Felder. So they're like, oh well, who's this guy type thing? You just beat two legends type, or two veterans in the sport. But yeah, I mean, Felder's a tough opponent. It's stylistically a good fight. And yeah, it's the last fight on my contract as well, so it's a good one to go 3-fight win streak and then get onto the bigger dogs for the right money.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're, the last fight in your contract. Were you a little bit this wasn't co-main or main events? Do you think that's something maybe to play into it because it's the last fight in your contract?
What was that, sorry?
Were you a little bit disappointed possibly that it wasn't co-main event because of the fact it's not? Because you were called.
Honest, I didn't really care where I am in the card. I'm just going to go out there and get the job done. Whether I'm first fight or last fight, that doesn't matter to me. There is obviously a lot of people saying that I should be the kind of headline Scottish person and stuff like that. But I mean, Jojo's the co-main event and then Gunner's the main. I think people just like my fight better because it's two guys that are going to come and bang, and stylistically it's going to be a good fight. So that's their main event. But yeah, I mean, as long as I'm up there in the card and get the win, and then they can start looking at putting me on kind of higher up in the card and getting more known as soon as I get this new contract.
Yeah, what is the situation? That put more pressure on you to make a statement, with the new contracts hanging over your head? Obviously, you're on a very good win streak at the moment, but that's sort of play into it as well, that you have to make a statement and put performance.
To be honest, like, what the main thing is just to get the win. I mean, I'm always looking for the stoppage anyway, because then you've got the chance of getting an extra 50 grand. So that's a good motivation part right there. But I'm always just going in. The win's the most important thing. So a lose and a bonus is good financially, but the win and no bonus is more important for the kind of longness and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go in there, prepare for a 3-round war, make sure I get the win, and if I get the stoppage, then nice. If I got a bonus, even better.
Is it a distraction?
What's this?
The contract?
The contract? Not really, because once I'm in there, I'm not going to be hanging about a contract or anything. The only thing I'm probably, to be honest, I'll probably be thinking about what kind of pizza I'm going to be eating after the fight. If anything, like that's probably more on my mind than this contract. How much junk food I'm going to eat. But yeah, I mean, once you're in there, it's just about getting the job done. There's a guy in front of you looking to take your head off in front of 13,000 your home fans and whatever. So the last thing I'm going to be thinking about is anything apart from getting that one.
Brilliant stuff. I want to get your thoughts, obviously, as well. You know, with the whole contract situation, you know, a lot of guys have Joseph Duffy or around Joseph. He's been allowed to test the free agency. Obviously, a guy on a win streak. You've Koichi Horiguchi, who was on, you know, a fantastic win streak in the flyweight division. The UFC let him go. Are you going to test that? You know, are you going to do that, or are you going to just see what the UFC come up with and make a decision after the fight?
Well, I want to stay with the UFC, so if obviously, like, I'm hoping that I go out there, I get the win, and the UFC offer me a good contract, and then boom, job done. So it wasn't really about testing free agency and looking to go elsewhere. I want to fight in the Champions League of MMA, which is the UFC. But obviously, I want to get paid for what I've done. I've just beat two huge names. Both of them got paid probably way more than me for losing. Which is fair enough. They've been around a long time, but when you're beating guys and you're going on a streak, and I could be 6-1 in the UFC. I've been a big part. A lot of things. I've took some fights on short notice. I've helped the UFC out. So yeah, it's just time for me to get the big payday, that big contract, so that one, I don't need to worry about fighting so much to pay bills. I can chill out a bit more, and yeah, obviously get paid what I deserve. And I feel like obviously I deserve that, and especially when I go out there, if I put in a good performance and make a bit of a statement. So yeah.
You mentioned short notice. You know, you've I think this is your fourth fight since last November, end of September, November. How important has it been to batteries and maybe chill out a little bit there as well?
Yeah, I mean, I had 11 months off before that Brazil fight. This is, like you said, my fourth fight in 10 months. So I'm definitely taking a break after this one. I've basically been on fight camp since February, you could say, because I done a fight camp. I fought Lauzon. I had 2 weeks off, pretty much like a holiday. And then I came back, and then I've pretty much been training ever since. So like 10 weeks, because it was 12 weeks since the Lauzon. So took 2 weeks off, straight back to training, and yeah, so it basically feels like I've been on fight camp since February. I've not been able to enjoy myself, but that's just the sacrifices that sometimes you need to make for things to be better. So, in 10 days' time, I get to eat some good food again. After the weigh-in, some clean food, but I could eat as much as I want. The way I see it, you get paid for making weight. The weight's the shittest part about fighting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Carbon up, feeling like the Hulk, and going in there, getting the job done, taking some time off, spending it with my family. I've got a holiday booked 4 days after the fight, all inclusive, so I'll be getting fat there. And yeah, just enjoying myself, and I'm not gonna do what I've done in the past, where I've just went on holiday. I've had 2 weeks to chill out, and then it's like, right, back to that life where you can't do anything. So I'm gonna take a few months where I just have a bit of a normal life. I'll still train. I could eat whatever food I want. I can have a drink with friends if I want, and yeah, just chill out a bit. Maybe get one more before the end of the year. Just to get a good little pay for Christmas and stuff. But we'll see what happens. Basically, see what happens. Get past this Felder fight, and then
Definitely
see what comes up.
Paul. I was talking to Paul yesterday, and he said to me, you know, if you get fight of the night bonus, he'll be looking for fried food as well. So I think it was similar thoughts about the food anyway.
Aye, food. That's it. Fucking. I feel like a terrorist right now with fucking the carb depleting and stuff. You know, you need your carbs, and the cut's always shit. I mean, I've done the cut so many times now that I'm used to it, and I know the script, but it's never good. I'm the small meals, the cutting the carbs, the lack of energy, but it's just all part of the process. So I'm definitely looking forward to one, carbing up and having shitloads of energy for the fight, and then two, enjoying some greasy food after it as well.
Oh, you mentioned Joe Lauzon there at that fight. Just getting back to that a little bit, it was obviously a very, very close fight. How did you assess that performance against Joe?
Well, it was one of those ones where overall I was obviously pleased with my performance because I got the win. I was able to show some toughness, grittiness, like come back. I also showed some some things I obviously needed to work on. I wasn't expecting Lauzon to be like as trying to rush me to the ground after I threw kicks. That was obviously his game plan. Because I spoke to him after it, he said that anytime I threw a kick, he was going to try and put me on my back. So it was cool just hearing that and obviously seeing it in the fight, and then even watching it back where my cornerman's like, right, don't throw any kicks, and then I throw one and I get put on my back with it. So yeah, just even things like that, listen to the corner more,
Do you think,
because
do you
that could have cost me the fight.
think people maybe underestimate your ground game? Because obviously we haven't seen you finish guys in the UFC since the days, in Cage Warriors, you were finishing guys left and right in the ground. Do you think maybe that's somewhat where you've maybe a secret in the UFC that guys are unfamiliar of your abilities?
Definitely, man. I think people are looking at me like I'm some sort of striker now. Whereas Bama, Cage Warriors and stuff, I was taking guys down, pounding them, choking them, and all that stuff. People are probably the only time people have seen me on the ground in the UFC is briefly against the debut guy that I fought. He's a BJJ black belt, leg lock guy. I almost submitted him a few times. So when you're actually going to look at my fights and then think about it, one, I kind of dominated that BJJ guy on the ground, and I almost submitted him a few times. And then I obviously TKO'd him on the ground as well. Then I fought the BJJ black belt from Brazil. And when you look at the jiu-jitsu of that fight, I had him in more dangerous positions than he had me. The only thing he done to me was control me, so more a wrestling point of view.
Yeah.
He lied on top of me and controlled me for most part of the fight. Fair play to him, it's part of the game. Boring as fuck, but he was able to control me. But when you look at the jiu-jitsu, I had him in an armbar. I mounted him. Fair enough, he escaped the mount pretty quick, and I transitioned to an armbar. I had his back with a body triangle.
Is this the
realizing
Mafra fight in Glasgow last time out, wasn't it?
What's that?
The Leandro Mafra fight last time out in Glasgow?
What about it?
This is the fight you're talking about, yeah?
No, I'm talking about the one I got beat from.
All right, okay.
So, Brazilian, when I got beat in Brazil from
Alan Patrick.
Alan Patrick, exactly. So, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, when you look at the jiu-jitsu part of it, I had him in the submission attempts. Like, I had his back with a full body triangle. I had him on an armbar. And the only really thing he done to me was lie on top of me and, tick away and punch and whatever. I was never in any trouble of a submission of... I think he was pretending to kind of go for a Kimura just to... so we didn't get stood up at the end, but... and then Lauzon's the next guy that people have seen me on the ground. Like, most guys, if Lauzon gets on top of you, he's probably going to finish you. He mounted me, he was smashing down elbows. I was able to escape his mount. And yeah, I mean, I dealt with it fine. I managed to survive. Obviously, I took a bit of pounding, but jiu-jitsu wise, I was never in trouble and I was able to survive. So I definitely think that people underestimate my ground game, and maybe that's something that I'll show in this fight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How do you see playing it. Paul's obviously a guy, Muay Thai style, like to go in there and bang. As you said, people are sort of perceiving you to be a striker when traditionally you're a guy you can sort of go anywhere. What do you see in this fight? Do you see it being a striker when when you envisage it?
Well, that's that. I just see that to my advantage. Like you said, I feel like I'm well rounded enough to do the fight anywhere. So if I want to keep on the feet, then I'll keep on the feet. I think I'll be faster than Paul. He's traditionally a Muay Thai guy, and he throws everything heavy, everything. Um, and yeah, like from what we've seen as well, he's probably going to come out and just do the normal southpaw, try and do the normal kind of opposite stance stuff. Probably play lead hand fighting stuff, throw his back leg a lot, try and kick my front leg, and yeah, and then but you never know, he might come in and try and take me down as well. So we're prepared
Yeah.
for everything. But I just feel like I'm one more well rounded, and I believe in my skills anywhere. So if it's not working on the feet, then maybe I'll look for a takedown. And if he's throwing loads of kicks and stuff, I might put him on his back from them. So he's got that to worry about as well, and as well as the big left hand and the right hook and whatever.
It's a fascinating fight in the card. Just a couple more before we let you go, Stevie. Take the time. I think we're looking at fight of the night honors here in some description. How much of an emphasis are the crowd going to play in this fight?
Well, what was that? Do I think the crowd will play a part?
Yeah.
Well, they could do. I'm not really looking at them looking to save me or like anything like that. I mean, if it does, and I'm like in trouble, and they spur me on a bit, or vice versa, you've got to basically just look at the last time I fought in Glasgow. That's like Paul said a few times, the pressure's on him, and like I'm fighting in Glasgow, so it's probably gonna he's trying to be positive about it. Obviously, he's coming to fight me in Scotland. He's trying to be positive by saying, I'm going to be more worried and more stressed. But I'm going to look at my last fight. It was in Scotland, and then obviously, do you still think the same? I came out and knocked a big guy out in 2.5 minutes. So you can say what you want, but when the results are there, and I've already done that walk in Glasgow, it's going to be the same walk, the same crowd, and hopefully the same result. But yeah, I mean, I'm prepared. I know how it's going to feel walking out to 13,000 Scottish fans again. It was something that will stick with me the rest of my life. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it, walking out. Especially when I got the knockout, jump on the cage, the whole crowd's going mental. I mean, I just keep visualising that, and I can see it happening again. Obviously, I'm not just visualising a first round knockout. I prepare for the worst, which is a tough, grueling fight. And I take any kind of stoppage as a bonus, and I am looking forward to it, man. And yeah.
I think we all are. Great. Looking forward to the fight. I'll see you over in Glasgow next week. Potential fight of the night honors. Do appreciate the time as well.
Hopefully, man, because I can do with that 50 Gs.